Hi there, Scary Gary. Glad you guys came back. Well, our next little John is going from Kansas City up to northeast Missouri to a little town named Bering, which we actually did that last year. And we did some reviews of the Halstead Hideaways where we're staying and also Bering Lake. And what we've been doing so far is if I did a review of the campground, I kind of jump over it, but I felt like I need to give Halstead's Hideaway a little better boost than what I did last time. One thing, when I got up there, the owner of the place, he actually greeted me and he says, "Hey," so I took your advice because he was asking me last time, what would you travel around, it's like I'm a big expert, woo, woo, woo. But what would you suggest? And I told him, I says, if I was you, I would do these two things which would help you out. And the first thing is your road coming in here. I mean, it's wide enough for an RV, but the outsides of it needs to be mowed. And if you meet somebody on that road, you're kind of like, ooh, can I pull off? Can I not? Can we get stuck? And this and that, whatever. So he took my advice and he actually widened the road and he was mowing, and he mowed it when we were there. So, that tells me, hey, this guy's taking advice. Maybe I need to give him a little more help. The second thing I suggested to him was get Wi-Fi. He had a small bit of Wi-Fi up at his house, but it didn't go to the campground. So he did install Wi-Fi. He basically, instead of, it was $25 last time, I believe it's $30 this time. So he's upped his campground price an extra $5 to handle the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi, it wasn't streaming Wi-Fi, but it was a place where you could get your emails. To give you some testimony on how nice Halstead's Hideaway is, a couple episodes ago, I basically did my video sitting on a picnic table shooting back at their lake. It was just a beautiful day. It was a nice morning, and we were virtually the only ones there. So, you can tell it's a pretty nice little spot. And if you want to look at what I did last time on my review, I've got a link in the show notes so you can go in there. It's basically just a nice little campground. It is on gravel, but it's picnic table, fire ring, 50 amp, water, sewer. So it's everything that we need. Very reliable. The guy's very personable. Keeps, it's a one-man operation. And like when we came in, you talk to him, he goes, "Here, you can take either one of those spots here." And then he says, "Oh, don't do spot 4. We were staying in spot 5 because spot 4, the guy that was there forgot to unhook and he pulled, and he's going to have to fix the electricity there." So that's, so he stays on top of it. And he did tell me that he is in the process of adding, I think he's trying to add like 20 spots to it. Which I know from last time there was I think there was 8. And then there was like this little loop where they had like a couple pull-throughs, what he called them, but they were on this little loop street that was a little loop gravel thing back there. But he has put more spaces in there, and my understanding he's going to put some more spaces out there. Now, the number one reason why I want to give this guy some gratis is I wouldn't even found him without my brother-in-law. Because where my mother and my little sister live in northeast Missouri, it's almost like an hour away to any campground of that in that area. Well, I couldn't find anything up there last time, and I looked at ParkAdivsor is the one app I used. I used Campendium, and I used Allstays at that time. I tried another app, which is RV Life, which I just started using it on this trip. Mary Lou actually found it, and matter of fact, 1 or 2 of the spots that on this trip I found on that app where I couldn't find it on the other app. And all of those apps, no Halstead Hideaway. Also, if you go on a Bling search, Microsoft Bling, there's no Halstead Hideaway. I did a campgrounds in Bering, Missouri. Nothing came up. You can go a couple links in there and go to the yellow pages, and you can get it after a couple clicks, but who's going to do that? Now, on a Google search, it did come up. That's a great disadvantage to this pretty nice little campground that's just kind of like a little hidden gem, because I mean, it's got a nice lake. It's supposedly fairly decent fishing from, I haven't fished it, but he did fireworks this year, which my brother-in-law does the fireworks for several of the areas up there, and they did fireworks for the first time this year. So it's a campground which it deserves more than it gets, because it's just kind of like little family get-togethers, you know, that happen. So if you happen to be in that area, I'd strongly recommend doing Halstead's Hideaway, and you know, and all the kudos to his taking advice, trying to improve, trying to just make a better living. And I mean, that's the number one reason why I say, you know, we need to give him, you know, another shot at this. And one of the better videos is the Bering Lake video, and it's mostly due to the residents over there, which we went over there one of the days and took a boat ride out in the middle of the lake, and we saw a beautiful sunset just like we did last year. So if you happen to be in the Northeast Missouri area, check out Halstead's Hideaway, because I tell you what, I mean, am I going to come back? Yeah, you know, as long as my mother's still up there and my little sister, we're going to come visit, I think I'll be staying at Halstead's Hideaway, because it's the closest place I can. And it serves every need that we have. Well, I hope you've enjoyed, and I sure hope to see you next week.
If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up.
Turn on your post notifications.
Put the comments down below. Subscribe and you make me happy.